My favorite part was going and seeing the kids open up to us. They didn't even really know us, and they just made connections, and it's amazing to see how they just like play and don't worry about anything. They're just normal kids, and the Rotary Camp helps them play.
Of the 53.9 million school-age children in the U.S., about 2.8 million were reported to have a disability in 2010.
I was the waterfront director at camp, and we had a kid who had never gone past the shallow end. So every day I'm like, when are we going out to the water trampoline? Where are we going out to the water trampoline? Water trampoline, the water is probably about 8 to 10 feet deep. I just kept bugging him and bugging him and bugging him. Eventually one day he goes, Monday. I was like, what? So I was like, cool, awesome. And I know this kid very well, and he's really big on paperwork and stuff like that. So I write out a contract saying he'll go out there with me on Monday. So I write it out, he signs it. Come Monday, I was like, all right, we're going out to the trampoline. He's like, no. Showed him the trampoline, his head just dropped. He goes, oh, no. I was like, that means we're going out. So we put like 3 life jackets on him. We put 2 lifeguard tubes underneath him. Gave him a floating raft, and we put 2 life jackets on the counselor, and he's still clinging on to the counselor for dear life the entire way out. They're going like so slow. It took him forever to get out there. But he got up there and he was bouncing on the trampoline and huge smile on his face. And then he ended up going out on the trampoline 3 more times that summer, which was really cool. Camp, it helps change the kids in a way that really nowhere else can, because they're in this structured, unstructured environment, if that even makes sense.
But all the adults and kids that have disabilities, a lot of the disability is associated with autism. 90% of individuals on the autism spectrum have some level of sensory processing difficulties.
We're very relaxed on how the programs play out and how the kids interact with themselves, and we try to help develop relationships and foster growth through these kids and push them to areas that they didn't think were possible. And there's a lot of different changes you can see throughout an entire summer just watching these kids. Camp is this amazing place where these kids get to be kids. They're not the kids that go to that room at the basement of school, or they ride the short bus, or sit by themselves at lunch. At camp, they're the cool kids. They're the ones that everybody wants to hang out with. And to see the way they act is amazing, because a lot of their parents will tell you what they consider horror stories about how their kids just get angry and frustrated at home. But we don't see that much of what they're talking about at camp, because they're having fun, they're getting engaged, and I just love camp because we provide a service that not many people get to, and we get to see a side of these kids that a lot of people don't get to see. It's just amazing.
I definitely feel that the camp helps the kids a lot, and they get excited for camp even though they're there for a couple days or a couple weeks. What they take from camp helps them in the long run, and it teaches them independence and all these other abilities that they wouldn't have without camp. And this camp is just an amazing thing that helps so many kids throughout the year that it's an amazing experience just to experience for one day to help.
Just because you're different doesn't mean you aren't amazing.